So in just one more minute, we'll get started. And I can see there are a number of participants who have just joined us. So good evening and a warm welcome to you as well. And in today's session, we are going to discuss a very interesting topic, that is how to create a digital catalog for your business. So I think this is where we should get started. But before we do that, it is my responsibility to make you aware in terms of our interaction, how we are going to do that. You will certainly have some questions, some queries, etc. How will you get an answer to that? So for that, we are going to use Q&A. This is a webinar format. So obviously, it is not possible to unmute your mic and immediately ask you a question. So for that, you are going to use the Q&A option. So down below, if you are joining through a laptop or desktop, you'll see down below there's an option which says Q&A. So you can click on it and you can ask your question. I'll keep the Q&A window open on the other monitor. So if any one of you is asking a question and I can answer that question, I'll certainly do that. Now, for our interaction, because I would also want to, or I would also love to seek your inputs about various items that we are going to discuss today. Now, for that, we will be using the chat option. All right, so this is where let's get started, and I'm going to start sharing my screen. And let me just adjust the mic a little bit so that you can hear me a little clearly. I hope you can all hear me. I can see that the audio matrix is looking okay. So just give me a few seconds to start the screen share. I will also have to position the windows on the other monitor. Perfect. So we are all ready. So this is where we are going to get started. And I accidentally closed the window which I wanted to show you. So just a few more seconds. I have to just reopen that window and then I'll start the screen share. And we are not going to. All right, so we'll get started now. I can see Anupam Manav. Manav has raised their hand. So please add your question in the Q&A. And if it is possible, I'll certainly try to answer that. All right, so we are beginning with today's session where we all have gathered to understand about how to create a digital catalog for your business. Now, the first question or the first item on our discussion list is obviously a basic question which will come to anyone's mind, that we are going to understand the process of creating digital catalog. But what does digital catalog even mean, right? What does it mean? Do you know what does it mean? If you know, please help me out. You can add your thoughts or whatever you understand about digital catalog. What is a digital catalog? You can add that in the chat, and let's help everyone understand what is a digital catalog, right? Please do help me out with your thoughts. You can use the chat feature. I have the chat open on the other window, so I can have a look and see. So I can see Mr. Vikram has responded. Website. Pratibha has also responded, and both of them are absolutely clear and precise also in their interpretation of the term. They are absolutely right. Any other participant who would like to share with us what is a digital catalog? All right. No worries if others are not feeling like contributing, no worries. It is my duty to help you understand what is a digital catalog, or help you understand anything and everything related to digital catalog. So what is a digital catalog? So as Vikram mentioned, it is a website, and on the slide you can see the textbook or the theory definition of the term digital catalog. So I'll just read it out for everyone's reference. So it is a website or a computer file used to provide examples of a person's work or product offering by a business in a digital format, which can easily be accessed by a prospective customer. So that is a digital catalog. Now, that is a fairly theory definition or a textbook definition. Let me help you understand in a simpler way. So it is a website, but a website with few characteristics or features or capabilities, right? So feature, capability, or characteristic is a term we can use interchangeably, but it has certain capabilities, or it can do certain things, and only then a website can be called a digital catalog. So it is not like anything and everything on the internet can be called a digital catalog. It should possess certain capabilities, and only then it can be referred as a digital catalog, right? So first capability or feature is that the website can showcase information about the product or services being offered by the business, right? So if there's a website that is just showcasing information about the business, about us, vision, mission, etc., right? So in that case, that website cannot be classified or called a digital catalog. In order for a website to be called a digital catalog, it should have those capabilities. And the first capability is that it should be showcasing information about the product or service in case they are a service provider. So it should be showcasing that information. The second capability is it should accept orders or generate leads. So the website should be capable enough to accept orders or generate leads. So if there is a prospective customer that comes across the website and they are interested to do business with the company that has that website, so they should be able to either place an order if they are into online selling, or send them a lead or send them an inquiry that, hey, we are interested to buy this product, and then they can connect with them. So this is the second capability. The third one is something that we are assuming should be there on every website, that it should also be showcasing information about that business, and that's why I've written assumed there. Right, so these are the three capabilities. Now, before I show you a few examples and help you grasp this understanding in a better way, let's also understand how many types of digital catalog are there, because that is obviously the second question that comes to the mind, right? Okay, now I know what is a digital catalog. Now, how many types of digital catalogs are there? So broadly, there are four types of digital catalogs. So let me help you understand them. The first type is which will help you generate leads. So this is where you can imagine that you're a B2B business, and that's where you want to generate leads for your business. Obviously, for a lot of B2B businesses, it is not possible for them to receive orders, right? So they would want to generate leads. So for that, it helps them generate leads. The second is generate orders. So if you are someone who's willing or wanting to receive orders from prospective customers, so in that case, it allows you to receive orders. So that is the second type of digital catalog. The third type is which allows you to do both the things simultaneously. So you can generate leads and you can receive orders as well. Many of you, I can imagine, must be thinking like, how is that even possible? I'll show you how it is done. And the fourth type is it allows you to receive orders from your bulk buyers. Now, the fundamental difference between leads and orders is that lead is basically a expression of interest, whereas order is actually an order. Someone is wanting to buy or is placed an order and they are buying the products, right? So that's the fundamental difference between a lead and an order. All right. So we have understood that what is a digital catalog and how many types of digital catalogs are there. All right. Now I'm going to switch my screen. I'm going to show you a few examples so that this understanding which I'm sharing with you and you're trying to absorb it is little difficult to sometimes comprehend and relate to it. So that's where we'll look at few examples and that's where you'll be able to understand it in a better way. So let's go. All right. So now I have forgotten where are those examples. Here they are. And I've deliberately shown you the first example, a B2C example. Now, why am I doing that? Considering the fact that majority of our members are B2B sellers and most of them would like to generate leads, then why am I showing this B2C example to you? For the simple reason that most of us do online shopping, and that's where we will be finding this relatable, right? So this is something that we almost see on a daily basis, day in, day out, whenever we are doing online shopping. So this is like a familiar ground. You can relate to it easily. Now, this is one of the examples that I'm showing to you. So there were many types of digital catalog that you can create. This is one type of digital catalog wherein a business is selling to retail customers in smaller quantities and where they're buying it for their personal consumption. But this can cater to domestic as well as international customers, and this business does that. So retail customers based out of India can place an order, and similarly retail customers based out of various other countries can also place an order very easily onto their website. So this is an example. Now, just relating to that concept of receiving orders, this is where I've opened the product detail page. Now here, as a customer, I can come and I can do an add to cart, I can do an buy now, and I can place an order very easily, very effortlessly. I can do that, right? And this is something very common with online shopping. Now, this is one example or one type of digital catalog. This is on a similar ground, another digital catalog I thought of sharing with you. Now we have this example or a product category which is totally different, right? So this is where just looking at the product visuals, you'll agree that this is a hardcore industrial product. And obviously, online shopping is not possible here because there are a million things that both the businesses, both the sellers and buyer have to agree upon, and then only the transaction goes through. It is going to be a B2B buy or large value transaction, which is going to happen. Now, how is this website helping in that? So if I take you to the product detail page, that's where, or product pages, this is where you can see this is one of the motors. I'm quickly going to open that. This is one of the motors, some standard motor it is. But from a interaction perspective, just imagine if I'm a customer and I'm wanting to buy this motor. So I can come here, I can see that they have this motor. I'm interested to buy them. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to click on this button and request for quotation. So this is where a request will go to the seller and they will reach back to me. And if they need further details in terms of understanding how many quantities do you need and where do we have to deliver, etc. So whatever are the finer details they need before they can provide a quotation. So they'll do that, and then based on their understanding, they'll provide a quotation or take the discussion forward. Right. So this is the second type of digital catalog that you can create. But I mentioned to you that there was a third type where both the things are possible. So let's see that example as well. So this is where I'm going to open one of the product. This is one product. I've opened the product screen because on the homepage of the website, you may not have been able to understand or make out or notice that this website is slightly different. So this is where when we are on the product detail page, and for a moment, I'm going to switch the screen and show you the online shopping type page. This is where you can see the interaction is add to cart and buy now. So this is where a customer is placing an order. Whereas here also we have two buttons. So what is the difference here? The difference is this button. So here we have send inquiry and add to cart. So a retail customer like me who's wanting to buy it for their personal consumption, they can come here and they can do an add to cart and they can place an order. At the same time, if there is a bulk buyer or someone who's wanting to buy it for their business, they have some chemist shop or they run a medical institution, and for that they need the products, so they can easily come here, send them an inquiry that, hey, we are interested to buy these products from you. Or they want to get some contract manufacturing done. So even in that case, they can connect with them, they can send them a lead, right? So send them an inquiry to be more precise, right? So this is the third type of digital catalog where both the things are happening at the same time. It is just the call to actions are different, right? So retail customers are using this button and wholesale customers or the bulk customers are using this button, right? So that is the third type of digital catalog. The fourth one is this one. Now, for a moment, if you'll look at this website, you'll notice that it is like any other online shopping website. I'll just scroll down once again from the top. It looks like an online shopping website. Absolutely. And you're correct. It looks like that, but it also serves another purpose. And what is that another purpose? So this is where you can see there is this option already Japan distributor log in. So this is where distributors, retailers, or shop owners who buy in bulk larger quantities for their establishment, for their shops, etc., they can come here and they can click on login and they can do a secure login and they can place an order. So this is related to the bulk ordering. So this where they are not sending an inquiry, we are interested to buy a mixer juicer. No, nothing like that. They're giving an order. I need 100 pieces of mixer juicer. This product, I need these many quantities. So they are giving an order and then Japan's team will process that order and deliver it to them. Now, obviously, it is not like anyone and everyone can come here and they can give them an order. So if they are already not impaneled, they are already not registered, in that case, they'll come here and they'll send an inquiry. They'll express their interest that we are interested to do this business with you. And then obviously Japan's team will evaluate them, understand their requirement, and once they are onboarded, they can simply come here and whenever they need a replenishment, they want to buy more product, they can come here, do a login, and they can see the product and they can place an order. Now, obviously, the question comes that in bulk buying or this kind of buying, there is a special price. So it is not like they'll be buying on the price which is for the retail customer. Obviously, it is a different price. So if they're selling a product for 100 rupees, their price would be 60 or 70, right? So they buy it a different price because obviously there is some profit margin for them as well in the transaction. So that is where they'll come here and there is a special price that the Japan must have specified at the back end. And on that special price, they'll get the merchandise. And if Japan has agreed to give them a credit period, they'll get the credit for that period. And if there's a minimum order quantity, understanding that, hey, Japan has said to them, okay, we are going to give you 15% discount, but you'll have to buy at least 10 units of each item whenever you're ordering. That also can be taken care by the system, right? So this is a very advanced and a powerful capability that can be used by businesses that operate in this dimension wherein they have a regular ordering being done by their distribution network. So this is the fourth type of digital catalog. All right. So I just thought of walking you through these examples so that you have a slightly better understanding about this concept of digital catalog. All right. So I hope all of us are slightly more clear in terms of what is a digital catalog and how many types of digital catalogs are there. Now, there was one more purpose of showing you all these examples. There's one more example that I've opened. I'll just show you. So, and there are literally thousands of such examples, and Like we can spend a day just discussing about them. All right. So, what was the other objective? Why did I showed you this example? Was to help you understand that it is absolutely possible to create these kinds of websites on the platform, because these people have already done that, right? So these are also testaments or testimonials that what is the capability of the platform, and at the same time also give you that motivation that if they can do it, why can't you do it, right? So it is possible for anyone and everyone. It is just a little effort that you have to put in to understand. And again, it is not rocket science where you'll need a degree in coding or you'll have to learn coding to do that. Nothing like that. So it is just inputting the information, just typing in or copy pasting the information, and you'll be able to create something as good or even better looking by using the platform. All right. So I think this is where we have spent enough time understanding the concepts. Now we will switch our screen, and I'm going to use a video. Obviously, it is not possible for us to create a digital catalog in every session. So I'm going to use this video, and obviously because the video is already available and I'm not going to waste your valuable time playing the video, I'm going to walk you through the video, and we'll touch upon the major points in today's discussion. For the finer details, obviously you have the video, and I will share the link of the video as well. So I'm going to just make this video full screen, and we'll get started. We are not going to play the video, obviously. Don't be worried about that. So this is where you have to come, and this is where we are starting with the hypothesis or the assumption that you have already created your account. You have already signed up and created an account on GlobalLinker. In case you haven't, in the video, I've explained that as well. All right. So this is where we have logged in, and sorry, I think we hide this one. Yeah. So we'll have to move a little bit. Fast forwarded it a little bit. So this is from where we are starting the discussion about creating digital catalog. So this is where we are starting with the assumption that you have already signed up, and this is where you are starting now to create your digital catalog. In case you want to understand how to sign up and create the account, this is where in the earlier part of the video, I've explained that as well, right? So don't worry on that. All right, so this is where the first step is to log in, and then once you have logged in, we'll have to, I think we'll have to skip this one as well. This is where we have gone through a few examples. Yeah. So once you have logged into your account, click on online store, which will open this interface. Now this is where I've seen many participants have done, or many businesses have done this mistake. Then when they come to the screen, immediately they see products. Oh, wow, wonderful. Let's upload the products, and they immediately get started. You don't have to do this. You have to click on this blue button which says convert now, because that will allow you to add products to your profile. But you want to create a website, right? That will not create a website. This will create a website, right? So don't get confused on that. This is a very important point. I don't want any one of you make this mistake. Don't go there. Just ignore that. Click on convert now, which will open this overlay. On this overlay, there are three simple questions that you have to answer. So what is the main purpose? How many products would you like to have? Would you like to use the minimum order quantity feature or not? You can select an appropriate option and then move to the next step. On the next step, you'll see there are various design templates which are shown on the screen, and you can select one of the design template as per your requirement. Now, these design templates can easily be changed. So at any given point in time, probably after a few days or a few months, you feel like I have to give a fresh look and feel, or the design template or the layout which I'm using is not giving the right appearance, or it is not presenting my products visually. Very easily, you can change the design template. Now, although this is a fairly simple and straightforward process, and you will be able to do that in matter of seconds. But trust me, this is where we tend to receive a lot of questions or calls on our help desk, and people do get confused here. So let me try to answer a few of those confusions for you. One of the common confusion that we have seen, although it is reducing with the time, is that people feel that if they have chosen a particular template, they'll not be able to make the change at a later point in time. Although few seconds ago I've clarified that if you don't like any of the templates, you can easily change that. But that also happens to be a common confusion that people have. So that's why I'm just repeating that in case you're wondering why is he saying the same thing over and over again. That happens to be a common confusion that people get, and this is where again I'm not blaming them. This is the root cause of this confusion is the traditional way of making websites. So traditionally, when websites were made, they will typically finalize the design first. So they'll select a template and then put in the information, and that's where the website gets made. So they have that thinking, right? So they are thinking that it happened that way when I created my first website or the website some time back. So it should happen the same way here. No, absolutely not. This is where you have the flexibility that you can change the design template at any given point in time. That was the first common confusion which is there. The second common confusion or the second common question is related to the products which are displayed on the screen. I'm not sure how big it is appearing on your screen, but there are various products or visuals of the products which are displayed here. Now, what people tend to feel is that if I'm selecting a particular design template, in that case, I need to have those products. So, for example, here you can see, I'm not sure how if you can see or make out, but this design template has visuals of electronic items like monitors, desktops, mobile phones, etc. So people tend to feel that if I am not dealing in these kind of products, then I cannot use this design template, which is also absolutely wrong because you can choose any template and use it for any product, right? So even if you're selling vegetable, you can use this template, right? There is absolutely nothing stopping you. In fact, these visuals which we are displaying here, the product visuals that we are showing here, they are only for example purpose, just to help you understand like how will it look, right? So it does not mean that only people who are in electronic space they can use it, or only people who are into cosmetics and perfumes they can use this template. No, absolutely not. Anyone can use any template, right? So that is about the second common question. The third one is slightly more important or slightly more deeper question. And that is also something that a lot of us don't even realize that we have that question or we have that problem. And it was actually asked and by one of the participant in one of the webinar many or long time ago. And that's where I realized that how important that question is. And I'm like thankful to him that he asked that question. And the question is that how do I choose a template? How do you choose? Now, in case you're still not able to understand the criticality, now you're looking at so many design templates here, right? And unless you're extremely creative person and you can just look at the design and you can like visualize in your head that this will look like this will look like that, most of us can't do that, right? So that's where for a common person, including myself, it is difficult to decide which one is better. They're all looking beautiful, right? Which one should you choose? And as a business owner, it is obviously not only your desire, it is your duty as well that your digital catalog, your website should be looking absolutely beautiful and attractive and engaging, right? You'd want to do that. How do you choose? That becomes a very difficult question. And obviously, one option that you have is like close your eyes and put your finger on one of them and choose it. But there is a process that you can follow to actually take this decision more scientifically. And what is that process? So you'll have to complete this journey, upload few products. How many? Two, three of them. And then once you have done that, you can come back here and apply one theme, see how it is showing your product or services. Then come back here, apply the second theme, see how it is showing your product or services. Keep repeating this activity. You'll have to go through all the themes, but that will give you a clarity. Obviously, it will take you some time, half an hour, 45 minutes, but that will give you a lot of clarity in terms of which theme is displaying your product or services in the most beautiful manner. And that is the theme that you have to choose, right? So it's a simple process that you have to go through to make that decision or to take that decision a little more scientifically. All right, rather than just closing your eyes and putting the finger onto it. All right, so that is about the design theme selection. And as I mentioned, actually, when you'll be going through this step, you may take few seconds, but there are questions or there are confusions which people have. And it is important that all those questions are answered. All right, so once you have clicked on that, which will open this overlay. This is the last overlay, by the way, in case you're wondering how many more overlays are there. So this is the last overlay. On this overlay, you'll see there are only two fields. The first one is store name, which is here. I'm just going to highlight that for your convenience. So this is the first field, and the field name is store name. What does that mean? So this is the name of your store. What should you enter here? So this is where you have to type in the business name, unless you are operating a popular brand. So in case you have a popular brand, in that case, you can also decide to have the store in the name of the brand. That is your choice. You can decide whether you'd want to create the store in the name of the brand or in the name of the company. For most businesses, as I mentioned, it will be in the name of the company, but it is your decision to take. Underneath that, the second field is store URL, or the title of the field is store URL. Now, this is where again we'll spend few minutes to understand it in a better way. The first point which I'm going to explain to you is obviously very fundamental, and that is what is a store URL. So store URL, or URL to be more precise, is something that we type in a browser to open a website. So for example, if we have to open Google's website, what do? We type google.com and the website opens up. So similarly, tomorrow, if someone has to open your website, what should they be doing? What should they be typing? That's what we are trying to define here. So this is where your business name .linker.store. All right, I'm going to just repeat that. What are we trying to define here? We are trying to define what should someone type to open the website that we are making. So that's what we have to do here. Now, what all should you enter here in this field? So this is where you have to type in your business name without any space or special character. No special character like at the rate, etc. Nothing is permitted, and only text and numbers are permitted. So any text or any alphabet from A to Z, any number from 0 to 9, they are permitted, but no space, no special character, and the limit is 25 characters. So if you have a really long business name, so in that case, you may have to like do a little bit of editing to that to fit in this 25 characters and then move to the next step. Now, this also attracts few common question, and one of the common question is, can I take this website live on my own domain? I happen to have a domain. Can I take it live on my own domain? The answer is absolutely yes, you can do that. In fact, I'm going to show you examples as well. So if you go to the examples that we were looking at earlier, so this is where you can see HK Online, Himalayan Naturals, or milk.com, or we have Vedamrit and Japan, Pepperflex. They are all using the custom domain. However, is it mandatory to have used the custom domain? Absolutely not. You can use the linker.store as well. I'm going to show you an example. Right, so here you can see this is a business that is into matchmaking, the matches, and this is where they are using linker.store. So it is your decision, or I can show you one more example. This is another example that I'm opening up. This is a business that is into these grocery products or cooking product. This is their seller panel. I had opened their website some time back, so that's why you are seeing that. Let me open in a private window. Right. So this is their website and they're using linker.store. So as I mentioned, it is your choice. It is your decision. You can decide to use linker.store or you can take it live on your own domain. We are neither forcing you to use our subdomain or we are not forcing you to use or take it live on your own domain as well. Now that leads to a logical question, and that is, why are we providing linker.store? So it is done for two purposes. One is to make this journey, this process of creating website as convenient, as simple as possible. And the second reason is to offer sustainable digital presence. And this is where sustainable is not related to the environmental sustainability. This is related to long-term sustainability. Right? Now, if you're someone who has created a website or operated a website, you'll agree there are multiple cost heads. So, for example, you have to renew domains, you have to buy and renew domains, you have to buy SSL and renew it, you have to take care of hosting, you have to take care of AMC, or if you want to get regular updates, then you have to hire a resource or you have to hire an agency, right? So, those kind of requirements are there. Right? Correct. So those kind of requirements are there, and that leads to cost. Right? So those are cost heads, and because of those cost heads, a lot of times smaller businesses or MSMEs, they decide not to digitize their business. Right? That leads to many of our businesses not creating their digital presence, and they cannot be found digitally, and that is a loss of business for them as well as for the country. So that is why we are helping businesses create sustainable digital presence. So if you're using our domain, you don't even have to worry about domain renewal. You don't even have to worry about SSL. That is all taken care of. Hosting is also taken care of. All you have to do is upload your products and market your website and do business through it, grow your business through it, right? So that is something I thought of mentioning on the sideline. All right, so let's get back to the discussion that we were doing. So this is the third and the last overlay. And on this overlay, there were two fields that we had to update. First is the store name, and you'll see it is already populated. But if you want to make any changes to them, so for example, you run a popular brand and you would want to have this domain in the name of the brand, you can do that. And then you have store URL. So this is where you have to type in the URL of or this is where you have to type in your business name without space or any special character. And once the website is ready, if you want to take it live on your own domain, you can certainly do that as well. So this is where once you have added the information, click on create store, and that will, sorry, that will bring you to this window. Now down below, you'll see there's a button which says store setup. And if you click on it, it will reveal that you have done 2 steps and there are 3 more steps that you have to go through. So you can click on these steps and you can do them in any order, but I would advise that you complete these steps from the home screen. So once you click on it, it will bring you to the screen. On the screen, you'll see there are these 3 steps which are remaining and 2 are completed, which we have completed on the overlay. Now here, you can do any of these steps in any order. So the first one is create your catalog. And that's where, as part of the store creation journey, you have to just upload one product, and the remaining is related to logistic update and payment activation. So you can click on create your catalog, which will bring you to the screen. Now, many times participants have asked me that we have a large catalog and we already have the data available in Excel. Can we upload the product data in bulk using Excel? The answer is absolutely yes, you can do that. In fact, in the video also I've explained where you can go and from where you can download the sample import format and upload the products in bulk. So in case you would want to upload the products in bulk, you can do that. Certainly you can do that. And we are back on the product screen. This where the product upload process is explained in the video in great detail. So we are not going to spend your valuable time understanding that, right? So we'll just skip the process of product upload, and this is a fairly straightforward process, and you can understand that. All right, so this is where we have completed the product upload. And once you have done that, then again, you have to go back to the home screen. How do you do that? So for that, you have to click on this home shaped icon, which will bring you to the screen. On the screen, you will see there are two remaining steps. One is set up shipping zone. You click on that and it will take you to the shipping zone management interface. Here you have to do two things. One is you have to update the estimated time, and then you have to put a value here. Estimated time, what it is, so it is in how much time the order should be delivered to the customer, and the cost is the logistic cost. Now you will certainly be wondering, why are we not setting it up properly if we want to take delivery or charges from the customer? For that, this particular feature is used. Now, for that, you need to understand how much will be the charges with the courier company will be taking, right? So firstly, sign up with the courier company, which is also there on the platform, and then create the shipping zone. For the timing, as we are wanting to complete the journey, you can just update these two values. Or if you happen to be a B2B seller and you just want to generate inquiries, in that case, you can just put some values here and then complete the step, right? So once you have done that, then you can go back to the home screen, and then you can click on get paid or add activate online payment, and you can come here. This is where you'll see all the payment gateways which are pre-integrated onto the platform. Now this where please do not enable or submit a request to activate a payment gateway till your website is complete. Because if you do that, then what will happen? Your requests will get rejected, right? So unless your website is complete, don't submit the payment gateway request. There are a number of payment gateways which are integrated onto a platform. You can activate any one of them or as many of them as per your choice. But as per the store creation journey, we have to enable one payment method. And for that, we can enable cash on delivery. Very quickly, you can go to cash on delivery and you can switch this on, and the payment method is enabled. So that's was the last method or the last step. Now you can go to the theme section and you can apply the theme. Once you have applied the theme, you can go to the navigation and you can set up the navigation. I've already explained in the video how to set up the navigation. So that's where we'll not be spending your valuable time. Once you have set up the navigation, you can go to store preview, and this is where you can upload the banners. The process of uploading the banners is also explained in the video. In fact, I'll share this video with you, and in the description, I've also linked recording of a webinar where I explained how you can even create this video using AI tools. Right, so all that is explained in this video or in the links in great detail. So once you have uploaded the banners, click on save and publish, and that will conclude the online store creation journey. All right, so this is it from my side. I'm going to stop sharing the screen and I am going to share with you this video. So just give me a quick second to do that. I have shared with you the link of this video, and if you go to the description, that is where you'll find other videos as well. I'm going to share those links also up here in the chat so that, sorry, somehow the links are not getting copied. I don't know what is happening here. Let me try to get the other tutorial video links. In the meantime, if you have any question or if there's anything which is not clear to you, you can add your question in the Q&A. I can see the Q&A. It still does not have any question. So if there's a question, if there's anything which is not clear to you, you would want me to explain that, or if there's anything that you would want to discuss, please do add that in the Q&A. All right, so now I have also shared the links of other tutorial videos in the chat. So this is where you have the link of how to create a digital catalog, how to use AI tools to generate the product content. You have the tutorial on how to upload products in bulk. You have tutorial on how to upload logo. You have tutorial on how to upload banners. You have tutorial on how to set up navigation, and you have tutorial on how to create banners using AI, right? So all the necessary tutorial content is available to you. I've chatted that. All right, so this is where I'm guessing there are no questions. So we can conclude this session for today. If there are any questions, this is sorry, I accidentally chatted everything to the panelists. I'll just share that here with everyone. That is my bad. So this is the first video, and let me share the other one here again with everyone. Now you should have received it in the chat. And so I've shared two messages in the chat. And the first one has the video, link of the video which we used for today's session. And the second one, which is how to create a digital catalog. It says a detailed video where I've also explained how to sign up and create an account. So that is also explained. And then you have how to create your digital catalog. So that is a detailed explanation. And then I've shared other tutorial links as well. So this is where you have videos about how to create content, product content, because that also happens to be a common concern when it comes to creating a website, right? So I have information about my business, but if I have to create content and about the product or services, or even about my business, how do I go about doing that? A lot of businesses or a lot of people I've interacted with, they have this challenge, or they have this fear that their English is not that good. And if they try to create the content themselves, it may not be very nice. So that's where you have AI tools that you can use these days. How to use them is explained in the video. Then how to upload the products in bulk, how to upload logo, how to upload banners, how to set up navigation, how to even create banners using AI. That is also explained. That video is also there. All right. So this is where I think we should conclude the session for today. I can see there is a message by Mr. Mahendra that share the recording. Yes, certainly you will get the recording of today's session. All right, so perfect. This is where we'll conclude this session for today. There's a question by Mr. Vikram, and I'm not going to read his question. I'm just going to provide a response. No, Mr. Vikram, this is your own website that you're creating. So this is your own information, and it will not be shared or captured by anyone. This is your and absolutely yours. On top of that, I would also want to clarify, and this is something which I'm not just sharing with Mr. Vikram, I'm sharing it with everyone. Uh, GlobalLinker, because this is something which a lot of people are interested in understanding, that how safe is my information. So GlobalLinker's entire ecosystem is a PCI DSS certified infrastructure. So technically, we are even allowed to share financial or store financial information on our infrastructure, but we don't do that. But technically, we can do that. So our infrastructure is so robust, right? So it is like top of the line. In addition to that, if you'll do a little research about GlobalLinker, you'll notice that we work with a lot of financial institutions. To name a few, ICICI Bank, Union Bank of Philippines, Commercial Bank of Ceylon, which is Sri Lanka, and then Abu Dhabi Commercial Bank in India, ICICI, I've already shared, then Yes Bank, HSBC, MasterCard. So a number of financial institutions, including government entities like Federation of All India Export Organization. So all these entities have entrusted us with the responsibility of storing, maintaining, and growing their member base. So obviously there is a lot of security which is available in the entire infrastructure and ecosystem. On top of that, we undergo a lot of audits throughout the year. So every financial institution that we work with, they audit our infrastructure. So every year we get audited multiple times, and that is where the infrastructure is kept up to the class, uh, and your data is absolutely secure here. And whatever leads, inquiries, or business that you're generating, that is entirely your business, and no one else will have access to that. All right, so this is where we'll conclude the session for today. Thank you, everyone, for taking out your valuable time. I hope you found the session informative. All right, thank you. Bye bye.